D2DNY Real World HVAC Simplified. And now in this video I will be installing, wiring, explaining the different configurations and setup options, and showing how to use this Lux Tx9600Ts Thermostat. All right, now before we get into the video, if you are not subscribed, I want you to do so right now. Go ahead and subscribe and smash that bell icon so when I upload videos like these, you get them right away. So real quickly, what comes in the box, you have the sub base right here, which I've already have installed. It's already installed, you can see. And then you have the thermostat right here. Okay, the batteries is not included, however. These batteries were supplied by D2D. These are my batteries. This never came with the thermostat. You have some installing or mounting accessories like drywall anchors or sheetrock anchors and some screws. You get a jumper right here. This is for heat pump setup. Jumper. So it's just a piece of wire, and this is for heat pump option if you're using heat pump or heat pump usage. You got some wire markers, and this is important if you're replacing the thermostat. Each corresponding wire on the old thermostat will be connected to a terminal that's marked. So you got to remove the wire from the old thermostat and then take the sticker, peel the sticker off, and identify the wire so that you know what letter terminal to install the wire on the new thermostat. So the wire markers, got some manuals, English and Spanish, and that's it. So let's get into the video. So as you could see, I didn't use the mounting apparatus that came with the thermostat. I just used some black sheetrock screws because this is the Real World HVAC thermostat board, and it's board, so I could just screw right into it and my thermostat is secured. Make sure it's level and secured. So if you have a drywall, you would put a hole just about the size of this plastic anchor right here. Stick this anchor into the hole, and then screw in the thermostat using these screws that was supplied with it. All right, I got videos doing that on other thermostat. Check them out. All right, so let's get into the wiring. Okay, so what you're seeing here, some lights on. What you're seeing here is the wiring for a 2-wire heating system, or heating only. And this is going to be for radiant floor heating, a steam boiler, or a hot water boiler with radiators. You got steam radiators, hot water baseboard radiators. It's going to be typical for that. Exactly, you see here. All right. Now here would be if you have a forced air heating only system. So you'll have a wire in W1 or H and G. All right. Again, W1 or H and G. Now if you have so again, this is forced air heating furnace, W or H and G. Now you can always add a wire to C, right, if you have it available, and that basically will allow the power from your heating or cooling equipment to power the thermostat coupled with the battery. This thermostat, however, because it's powered by batteries as well, if you don't have a C wire, if there's no C wire available, you're still good to go. All right, so this is a forced air heating furnace setup. Moving on to the next one. Now, one more thing I want to point out if you, this W1 is for heating stage number 1, and W2 is for heating stage number 2. So if your system has 2 stages of heating, then you'll have a second wire here on W2, and that will be associated with forced air heating furnace. All right, most likely gas heating, possibly oil as well, but most likely gas heating, and also electric heating as well. If you got forced air electric heating, if you have a boiler, a hot water boiler, or a steam boiler, then there wouldn't be no second stage. It will be just one stage, which will be just W1. All right, so second stage W2, that's for forced air system, whether it be electric or gas. All right, then you'll have a second wire on W2 along with W1 or H and G. All right, and again, C, you can always use C if it's available in whatever wiring configuration. Simply mean that with this wire connected, if it's available, that the thermostat has been powered from your HVAC equipment. All right, so there you go. This is cooling only configuration. So you'll have a wire on RC. You can see RC and RH is jumped from the factory. There's a jumper, that black jumper that connects or links RC and RH. That comes from the factory or out of the box. Leave that there unless your heating equipment and your cooling equipment is separate. Other than that, leave that jumper in place. So yeah, so you gotta have a wire for cooling only. You wanna have a wire on RC, which is the same as RH because it's jump right now, no difference. And you're gonna have a wire on Y, okay, and you're gonna have a wire on G. That's it for cooling only setup. And again, if you have the C wire available, you can put it in. Just means that you'll take power from your equipment, from your cooling or heating equipment, to power the thermostat, and not just relying upon the battery. It's a good option to have. All right. So continuing, here we go with heating and cooling option or setup. Now we have a wire in W1. You can also have a wire in W2 if you have a heating furnace or electric heat that has 2 stages. So you'd have another wire here for second stage heat on W2. But in this right here, this current configuration, that's for single stage heat only. All right, so you got only wire in each stage 1. You got RH, RC jump together, which got a wire there in the same terminal because they're jumped with this black wire jumper. So you can see that I got a wire over here in R, and then I got another wire in Y, got another wire in G. Now that's your heating, single stage heating and cooling setup. Once again, if you have 2 stages of heat, you'll have a second wire here on W2. Again, you can always add the C wire if you have it available. I've already explained what that does. So moving on. So here we are with a heat pump setup. And as I said, you got this jumper that came here for heat pump usage. And that goes on W1 and Y. So you're trying to jump Y and W1 with a jumper, the supplied jumper, wire jumper if you have a heat pump system, okay? And you can see where now I have on W2, I have this other wire. This will be your emergency or backup heat, or you can probably call it second stage heat. But if you have a heat pump system, it's not really second stage, it's actually emergency heating or backup heating, okay? And then obviously again, you have R again here, R and RC is jumped. This is a factory out of the box jumper, it's still in place. And then you got another wire on Y, and then you have another wire on O. Right now I'm using O because I am in New York, or I'm in the north. In the north, you will have a wire on O so that you can enable your reversing valve on a call for cooling, because the system is defaulted to heating. Now, if you're down south or in California, Florida, then those places the system is defaulted to cooling because of the higher temperatures normally. So it will you'll have to have a wire on B instead. And obviously you have another wire on G, and G is the fan. Okay, so that's your heat pump setup. If you have questions regarding that, leave it in the comment section. All right. And again, with all configuration, Again, C is optional with this thermostat. This thermostat is powered by batteries. You have dual power option. You got power from the HVAC, heating, cooling equipment, or you can power it just from the batteries. All right. Now, in the event, let me just do another wiring configuration here. Hold. Okay, so now in the event that you have a heating and cooling system, however, you have cooling coming from your, say, air vents. It says, always cooling is going to blow from the air vents or from the ductwork, and then you have baseboard heater from a boiler, a steam boiler, or a hot water boiler, or you got radiant floor, whatever. So now in this case, you have your heating system is separated from your cooling system. So in this way, you see I removed that jumper between RC and RH. Now RH represents R for R is the power, 24 volts power, and H is stands for heating. So heating power, 24 volts, and same thing for the over here. C is for cooling. So from the cooling system, 24 volts power will go here. So this is how your system would look like, or your wiring configuration will look like if you have a separate boiler, water or steam boiler along with your cooling system. You'll have a separate, you have to separate RC and RH. And that's the only time you'll separate RC and RH, again, is if your heating equipment is completely separated. It's two separate entities. It's separated from your cooling equipment, and that's that. And again, always C is optional. If you don't have it, you don't have to use it in this thermostat. You can leave it out because battery is operated. Another thing I want to note is that these wiring configuration is my wiring color configuration. Yours may be different. Yours may be all the same colors. Just remember, if you're replacing the thermostat, you're going to want to use the wire labeler that comes with the thermostat, and on your old thermostat, label the wires, C, W1, W2, RH, RC, etc. Label them before you remove them so you know exactly where to put them back on the new thermostat. All right? Wiring configuration will vary as far as colors is concerned. So that's why you have to label them before you remove them. All right, so let's get into the setting up and configuration. Okay, so on the back of the thermostat here, you have, let me zoom in, you have these dip switches, and exactly how you see them right now, that's how they came out of the box. All right, so out of the box, that's how they are, and this is your table of configurations. Explains what each switch does. And so here we go. So out of the box, we have from option 1 through 7, right? And switches 1 through 7, they're all set to the off position, which is this side, which means that system out of the box is set to furnace, heating furnace. This is if you got a gas-fired heating furnace, you got a hot water or steam boiler, you got radiant floor heating from your hot water steam boiler, you got electric heat. This is where it's going to stay, on that position right there, off. Number 2, do you want to have a program? Do you want to have scheduling? If your answer is yes, you leave it as is from the box in the off side. All right. If you don't want scheduling, where you just want to set your thermostat to a temperature wherever you want, and it stays indefinitely until you change the temperature, then you're going to flip this switch. You're going to flip it to the that side, the manual side. Okay, flip it over here to on. All right, now moving on. So if you opted for the program or scheduling option, which switch number 2 is on the off position over here on that side, then you can select how many scheduling or programming periods per day do you want. Do you want 2, which is going to be day and night, or do you want 4, which is going to be day, morning, day, evening, and night. All right, 4 different options for you to set different temperatures at different times. Then you leave it where it comes out of the box over here. Okay, 4. If you only need 2 one for the day and one for the night, then you'll flip this switch number 3 right here. You slip it to this way, that side, to the on side. Over here, option 4 is whether you want Fahrenheit or Celsius. Out of the box, we're set to Fahrenheit. It's over here on this side. Okay, if you want Celsius, flip it over this way. Okay, you flip this switch right here, switch number 4. You flip it over here. You can use a toothpick or a small pen, or screwdriver like this if you desire. Okay, to move it. Where we at? Time. So do you want military time or regular time? Okay. So the 24-hour clock is basically military time, where it keeps counting past 12, it goes 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, so on and so forth. 12-hour clock is regular standard. That's how that's how normal people read their time or reach time, 12 hours. So it's defaulted from factory. The switch is set to, off. So it's 12 hour. Next, we got the delay. You have a 5-minute option and a 2-minute option. Out of the box, it comes 5 minutes. This basically is the delay for heat pump and cooling compressor or cooling system. So basically what that means that whenever the cooling turns on or the compressor turns on and then turn off, it will wait either 2 minutes here or 5 minutes here before it can turn on again, before it will turn on again. So you can either, let's just say the cooling was on and then you had to raise the set point and turn it off and then you quickly lower it back. It won't restart automatically. It won't restart until after 5 minutes, which is default, or then 2 minutes. Okay. Next, we got the recovery option, and basically it's disabled from out of the box. You can toggle switch number 7 to the on position to enable it. And what recovery is basically anticipation for heating and cooling. Yeah, I said it correct. Yeah. So that's anticipation for heating and cooling. So in other words, if you toggle switch 7 to on, that will basically have the thermostat, turn on cooling or heating earlier than the desired program times. So let's just say on your program time, that is if you have programming enabled down here, right? And so let's just say you said, okay, in the daytime, I want my thermostat set to 70. So daytime for you is 8 o'clock in the morning. So what's going to happen if you have this number 7 enabled this way? The thermostat will decide, okay, all right, so it's 6 a.m. right now. At 8 a.m. I have to be at 70, but it's 6 a.m. right now, and I'm currently reading 68 or 65. So you know what? I am going to anticipate that it's going to take 2 hours to get to 70 at 8 o'clock. So it's going to turn on 2 hours earlier. And the same thing for heating. All right, so that's what it is. That's what recovery, that's what this option is. All right, and again, so let's just to recap. Standard heating system, boiler, gas-fired furnace, what else? Steam boiler, hot water boiler, electric heat over here. This right here is a heat pump. Now, if you don't know what a heat pump is, basically the same outdoor unit or compressor outside that provides you with cooling will provide you with heating. Okay, that's what this option is for. Okay, the first switch right here. Second switch, that is going to be, do you want to have program or scheduling, or do you want to just have your thermostat set manually to a temperature of your desire whenever you want, however you want, on your time, whenever you desire it, with no automatic scheduling or programming. All right, so that's this switch right here. This one here, I'm in the periods of scheduling per day. 2 or 4 is available, and Celsius, Fahrenheit, regular clock, compressor cycle delay, and recovery. Now, I was going to say, so here we have this switch right here, and this switch, if your heating system is electric, you will toggle this switch down to the bottom, which is for electric right here, right? And if your heating system is gas, then you leave it up top. Now, this is for forced air only. If you got radiators, it doesn't matter. This doesn't affect it, because what this does is controls the output for the fan in the heating mode. So if you put it to electric, toggle it down to electric in the bottom here, you move it to the bottom for electric, then when this thermostat calls for heat, it will turn the output for the fan on as well. The thermostat controls the fan in heating mode. And if you toggle it to gas, which is up top here, gas, leave it up top, so you can toggle the switch up and down. So that's gas, that's electric. So if it's in gas, it simply means that the thermostat will not control the fan in a call for heat. It will allow the heating furnace to control the fan. Simple. Now, one thing you want to note when you make changes here to the configuration of the dip switches, you have to press this button here for it to accept, or you have to turn the system to off and then back to on for it to accept. Okay, so let's move on to setting using the thermostat and looking at some of the options inside. Oh, there it is. This thermostat is backlit. There's a blue light in the background, you can see there. It's not so bright, it's subtle. All right, so anyway, very first thing you can see here is that it's asking, let me zoom in. Very first thing here is the date and time, so it's already flashing. So you're gonna go ahead and select time, and then you can change it to the day, Sunday, and then hit OK. So that's saved. Then I'm gonna hit time, and then set my time. You can just keep holding it. It's gonna go right through. AM, PM. It's gonna keep going. Once you see your desired time, then you stop, and it's OK. All right. So I'm gonna go through the menu right here. So we have scroll. So we're gonna scroll. Filter usage. Now filter usage, you click OK in that, and it's gonna allow you to set a timer to remind you when to replace your filter if you want that option. And what you do it here. You hit next, and then you would hit, come on. I just got out of there. Filter usage. Okay. Next. And then just put how much time. How much hours do you want? All right. So again, this is just going on the camera, man. Lighting is crazy. Let's put lighting back on. So again, this is just basically a filter timer. And how many? So after you set the run hours, 460 hours, how many hours you want, it's gonna pop up a reminder on the screen that says, hey, time to replace your filters. That's all that is. So whatever amount of run hours you want. I think the maximum is 700. I think it was 700 run hours. Oh no, it goes more than that. It's a lot of hours, whatever. So whatever hours you want to remind you, if you want that option, there you go. And you hit OK, and you're done. So the next one is swing value. Now in here, guys, if you're not a pro, I'm going to tread very carefully, okay? So we're going to hit OK in swing value. Now this right here, default is 1, and that's basically is the amount of cycle in heating or cooling mode per hour. So here, basically, the lower the number, the more tighter or more precision the thermostat will maintain temperature, and you can go up to 9. So if you go to 9, basically the system will cycle less, go on and off less time within 1 hour. So then you're going to have a more difficult time maintaining your set point temperature on your thermostat. So I'm going to bring it back to the default. The default was 1. So this is the most precision, more tighter control. I'm going to leave it there. So I'm going next. This right here is the offset. Now this comes into play for your second stage of heat. So if this number is set to 0, this thermostat will not turn on or output anything on W2 for second stage of heat. So again, so if you got if the system switch number 1 dip switch number 1 is set to furnace, and this number is set to 0, you will not have any second stage of heat. It's only going to be first stage. So so if this number is come on, I lost it. Menu. Let's scroll back down to it. Swing value. Okay. So if that number is set to 0, you have there's no second stage control for heating, only first stage only. And if you're in, if dip switch number 1 is set to heat pump, this right here will represent no emergency heat. If you have it on 0, no emergency or backup heat. In this case, if you have the system set to heat pump, you'd have to you can only turn on your emergency or backup heat from the menu. Okay, you have to manually select that on the menu. I'll show you that later. So we can go here and select the degree of offset when we're going to bring on the backup heat or the second stage of heat. All right, so let's go next. I'm gonna leave it at 3 degrees. You can go up to 9 degrees. And the further away you go, guys, basically it's going to be longer for the backup heat or the second stage of heat to turn on. All right, the closer you go, it's going to come on quicker. Second stage or backup heat. Okay. So here, calibration here. This is basically to, let's just say the thermostat sensor is reading incorrect. Here you have the ability to correct that plus 5 degrees and minus 5 degrees. So let's just say the temperature of the displayed on the thermostat, what it's reading or sensing, it's 2 degrees above normal, above what it actually is. Then you can come here and go minus 2 degrees. But let's just say it's reading 2 degrees colder. Then you can come here and go plus 2 degrees and hit next, and that will offset the temperature sensor within the thermostat. So let me show you here. I'll give an example. So it's 61 degrees right here. If I go menu, scroll, swing value, okay, next right here, calibration. So I'm gonna bring that down. Just to go ridiculously low with that. Okay, see, 54. And if I go put it back to 0, oh crap. Menu, scroll, swing value, okay. Next, calibration. See, goes back up. So this is the temperature of what the thermostat is currently reading. All right. So let's go into turning the system to heating. All right. So once you turn the system to heating, as you can see, I just did toggle that up. You got a whole different set of some additional menu items. So the first one we're going to look at is scheduling. All right. So we already done that initially. So I'm going to scroll past that. Scheduling is the programs. So right here we're going to press OK, and we are going to go. So you see you got morning, and at 6 a.m. and you can change, the time for your first scheduling, whatever time you want. So I want 5 a.m. I hit next, and I'm going to change what temperature I want, 72 at 5 a.m. Hit next, and the day again that's 8 a.m. You can change that time if you like for day, and hit next, change the temperature you want for day, hit next. So all right, so you do day next, you put the time, you do your temperatures, and then you got evening, and again you can change it, 6 p.m. make 6 p.m. you can do whatever time you want for evening, and you do next, then you do the temperature you want for evening, and you do next, and then night. Same thing, you do your time you want for night, what time you want night scheduling, and then you do next, and what temperature you want in the heating mode, and then you do next, and then it goes to the next day, so on and so forth. Now if you want the same temperatures across several days, you could copy, hit copy, and then you can say you can copy Monday to Tuesday, right? Copy, and copy copy, see what's going on. I'm copying, and I could change the day here. You see? All right, so that's the function right there. The copy, you know, if you don't want to go individual days, if you did every day is the same thing, you can just do the copy function. All right, so let's get out of this. That's the scheduling. And this scheduling option is going to be available for you when you go to the cooling as well. Same thing, you have to do the same thing in cooling. Go to the menu, and then you're going to scroll down, cooling programs, and do the scheduling. You do OK in there, and you do the same thing, except that now you're setting temperatures up for cooling. What if you want in the morning? And you see we're getting 4 schedule per day because our toggle switch is set to 4 as opposed to 2 in the back of the thermostat or dip switch. All right. So there you go. Pretty straightforward, guys. So I'm not going to go over this again. I'm just going to exit that. And I'm going to show you other functions here. So we go menu, scroll, we got cool programs, same as heat programs. We got filter usage, same thing. Energy usage. So here is just a timer. It's going to show you the run hours. How many hours the cooling or heating has been running for, right? If you're interested in that, that's all it is. It's going to show you run times. That's all, run times. Yesterday's and total usage, just run times, okay? That's all. Now, if you're wondering, every time airplane is passing, I gotta pause after I pause the video because I pause recording because I live next to the airport and it's like the plane goes by like every 3 minutes. I gotta pause. I don't want to have the noise in the video because it's just really loud. Anyways, so let's get back to where I'm at. So let's go to the next menu item. So we got cool programs. We've already been through that. Same as heat program, filter usage. We've been through that. We've been through the energy review, and this energy review is also available in the heating mode when you have the switch in the heating mode. Okay, same thing. Swing value, we already been through that. Lock option. So you select OK there, and you put a code in. My code is 1000. Okay, hit OK. Now you see the thermostat is locked. I can't. Let's exit here. I can't touch anything. Nothing can change. Nothing will work. I gotta press this lock button here. Nothing work. I gotta press this lock button here, and then I have to put my code in. Wait a minute. Press OK, and put my code in 1000. Okay, now it's unlocked. Now, if you forgot the code, you have to press the button in the back. I'm gonna show you that button. As a matter of fact, let me just pop it off right here and show you the button. If in case you forget the code, you press this button right here and it will reset the thermostat. All right. Now the lock function, guys, once you unlock it, you have to go back again and put a password, create a password. You can create several passwords. It doesn't stay. Once you unlock it, it goes away. You have to go and do it again. Okay. Again, if you forget it, take the remove the thermostat, uninstall it, press that button I show you in the back. That will reset the thermostat. You're gonna have to set up your times and schedule again because it's gonna reset the thermostat. It's gonna reboot the entire thermostat. Removing the battery won't do it. Maybe it will after a while. It takes a while for the thermostat to discharge, but what you do if you forget your password. Okay, let's go on. Almost done. Almost finished. I got that. We did that already. We did that already. Now here is temp stop. So this is if you want to limit your cooling. How low you can set the cooling, or how high you can set the heating. So let's go in here for cooling. So we go temp stop, and we're going to say, okay, 1. And I'm going to go next. And I'm going to say I want it to go, the coldest I can go in cooling is 70. So I'm going to hit next. So then if I go here and try to lower this, can't go past 70 unless I go back in here. I go scroll, temp stop right here, hit OK, select 1, hit next, and then I have to make it wherever I want to go, like 60, 59. Next. Now I got cats meowing in my videos. That's crazy. Got cats and planes. That's crazy. All right, so yeah, so now you can see I can go lower if I want, right? All right, so that's that. So that's temp stops. Okay. Okay, so now we have temperature setback. So this option is available in heating and cooling modes. So I'm gonna select here, and so you can go up to as much hours as you want. I'm assuming. It's gonna be ridiculous. I'm just gonna put it to, say I want to go to 5 hours. Okay, next. And it's basically a timed schedule or timed override. So I want to, for 5 hours, I want to set my cooling for 66. Okay, next, you're going to see on the screen here. Uh, 5 hours, 66. It shows you how much time left. All right, that's what that function does. And that function is available in eating and cooling. All right, boom. All right, what else do I got? Let's go down to the menu. I think that was the last of it. Setback, that's it. All right, now again, if you want cooling, you toggle down to cooling. If you want heating, you toggle up to heating. Okay, one more thing I want to show you regarding that. Also here, fan option on. Fan runs all the time, continuous. Auto cycles with the demand for heat or cool, or command for heat or cool. Okay, so notice there is a emergency heat right here, and I've just removed the thermostat and toggle system switch or number 1 to HP, just to show you the emergency heat option. Now, if I were to go down here, this and I go scroll. I go to swing value, and I hit OK. I go next, and I go. This is at 0, right? Wait a second. Okay, that's what I want. I put it at 0. If I put offset at 0, now this system will not turn on the backup heat from my heat pump or my emergency heat unless I press that button. See, emergency heat is on. Let me cancel hold. Cancel hold, that's another function I want to show you guys. So if you want to hold, when you select the programming option or the scheduling option, and you want to have your temperature set point stays there indefinitely, so you can always override it like this, and it will stay there until the next program schedule time. It will revert to whatever the program is set to or whatever for that period. But if you want to have the temperature set point stays indefinitely, you press this button here, okay, and give it a number, press next, and it's going to stay there. All right, and if you want to revert or remove the hold, just press hold again, and now you're back to regular scheduling, regular programming. Here goes a plane. I go back again and get this video wrapped up. All right, so emergency heat option, I'm going to turn off, on, off, on. And like I said, this will be done automatically if the system needs it for second stage or backup heat. Only if you have in this swing value option, you go in there and you go down and you scroll. Oh, what am I doing? Come on. Menu, scroll, swing value. Where it's at? Oh crap, I passed it. Look at me, Mr. Speedy Gonzalez. I've done this already, so I think you guys should already know, but I'm just gonna go again. This is like advanced stuff. All right, swing value, okay. So if I go here and I set this to 1 and I give it a number, now it will be done automatically. Okay, and you can also do it manual if you want. It's up to you. And let me go thermostat. All right, so that's it for this video, guys. If you got questions about this video, leave it in the comment section. I know it was a long video, but it was an in-depth detail. Nothing is left out. And like I said, important regarding the wires. These are my wiring coloring scheme. Doesn't necessarily apply to you. Just remember to um, use these wire markers when you're removing the wires from your old or existing thermostat to put a label on each and every single wires. Okay, so you know exactly where to put them back. All right. I mean, some of these things you don't have. You won't have no humidity. You probably will have heat, and if you got heat, that's emergency heat. You'll put that on W2 on the new thermostat. You won't have that. You won't have that. You probably will have this. Maybe you'll have this. You will have this. Well, it's W1. So just use these stickers to label your wires. That's it for this video. Another plane. Where is it? There it is. Crazy.